What's going on? How's everybody doing this evening? Jimmy D's here. As you can see, Mike Tag is not there. Unfortunately, I'm the sacrificial lamb tonight. Mike Tag, I don't know if he's in hiding after last night. I don't know. Maybe he's having a little meeting with Jerry Jones to discuss things. Or maybe after, his advertisement yesterday with Marcus Spears and doing some work for a prominent restaurant chain. Maybe he's at a big Madison Avenue advertising firm signing some deals to be the hype man of the Cowboys internationally. So you got Jimmy D here running solo. We are going to have the chat room open. We're going to talk about NFL. As always, we are your lead into Monday Night Football, so we appreciate you joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. And unfortunately, this week we won't have any call-in because Mike Tag has the phone on his end and I don't. So definitely, chat and we'll go through things on chat. I did want to send out an apology to everybody who is in here. We had the drawing last Thursday, or we were supposed to have the drawing last Thursday evening for our 1,000 subscriber. And what happened was the service that we use had a nationwide outage. Their entire database and server just dropped. So we actually waited it out a good hour to hopefully even do it later. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. They didn't get things fixed till the next day. So this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have the live drawing here on the air for the Micah Parsons defensive rookie of the year, signed 8x10. So make sure this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So we're going to get to the Cowboys, obviously, but I did want to also touch base on the Falcons first, because I'm a happy camper today. Until yesterday, the San Francisco 49ers had the best defense in the NFL. It was San Francisco, then the Bills, and the Cowboys. But guess what? San Francisco is dethroned because we took care of business. Marcus Mariota was near perfection yesterday, 3 touchdowns. Ran one in, I think he ran for 50 yards yesterday. Kyle Pitts was involved. Our defense played great again. I'm really impressed and happy with our defense so far. Defense scored a touchdown, had a couple of third ones, and even a fourth and one where we held San Francisco. Drake London, he's killing it, and he was talking a lot of trash yesterday, which I loved. So a great game for us, and I was really happy. And, had it not been the fact that we were screwed over last week by the referees in Tampa Bay and had a chance to get the ball back, we'd be in sole possession of first place this week. But as it stands, we're tied for first. Tampa Bay has the tiebreaker right now, but we're gonna deal with them later in the season, so I'm not too worried about them. So very happy about the Falcons. Like I said, Tyler Algier, and Huntley, they have definitely done well in Patterson's absence. And it was good to see Pitts back after being out last week with an injury. So So anyway, we'll move on to other things. I know I'm the big Falcons fan. I know a lot of you are Cowboys fans. I think we'll talk about that next. The Yankees were on last night. So in fairness, I was watching a lot of Yankees and some of the Cowboys and Eagles. And I was kind of surprised because with it was 0-0. And I turned it back on 10, 12 minutes later and it was 17-0. So I was trying to figure out exactly what happened. So, if you look at the stats, I mean, at the end of the day, the stats favored the Cowboys for the most part, with the exception of turnovers. Everybody said that Jalen Hurts had a great game. Honestly, I mean, he had 155 yards passing. He was 15 of 25. I wouldn't call that a great game. He had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. They won, but the Cowboys had more passing yards. The Cowboys had, I think there was an equal amount of rushing yards. Here's where the Cowboys killed themselves: 10 penalties, and Cooper Rush with 3 interceptions. So, it was the turnovers and penalties that really killed the Cowboys last night. And I found it kind of funny that the Philadelphia fans were celebrating like it was the Super Bowl, and their coach is carrying on swearing on the sidelines, using words that I can't even use on this family-friendly podcast. So, again, I just, I think not for the penalties and the turnovers. If Prescott's in, I think the Cowboys easily win. So for all the Cowboys fans out there, I wouldn't hit any panic button yet. You got Prescott coming back. You have some easily winnable games the next couple of weeks. You'll get the Eagles again while you're full strength in a few weeks from now. So, so what else about the Cowboys? Remember, I'm not the Cowboys expert, so I'm not trying to be, but I am going to give some more observations on the game. Like I said, time of possession was lopsided again on the Eagles, but total plays were the same. And, so at the end of the day, you guys will be fine later in the season against them. On to other NFL news, we had I did want to bring up about Tom Brady, because last week we did say that, I brought it up after that horrible roughing the passer call that screwed us out of the game. I said, why didn't Brady get a flag for trying to kick Grady Jarrett after that textbook sack? Well, a couple of days ago, they fined Brady $12,000 and, pocket change to him. But still, I mean, had they thrown the flag at that point, it would have been offsetting. They would have replayed the down. So again, I'm still pissed off about that, because had that not happened, we get the ball back and possibly win the game. Other things with the NFL this week. So we had started out with Thursday Night Football, which was atrocious. And if you really needed a sleep aid, you didn't need any of the over-the-counter remedies. You just watched that Thursday Night Football game between the Bears and Washington, and you were falling asleep real fast. I think that Amazon Prime or whatever it is that's carrying the game should have paid us to watch the game, because that was an absolute joke. And it was a horrible game to have in prime time. And frankly, I like that the NFL, was with the flexing. They should be able to flex games earlier, because that game was a complete waste of time. And it was boring as hell. And I'm sorry if anybody is a Bears fan or a Washington fan out there. I don't mean to offend you, but the game sucked. Another thing we were talking about last week with, when the Birdz and the boys, we had the guys on from there, Kevin and Aiden. We were talking about the NFC East, and we were talking about, I had mentioned, hey, what about the Giants? The Giants are looking pretty good, and they seem to dismiss the Giants for now. But hey, the Giants with another big win yesterday, and the Ravens with another big collapse yesterday, blowing a lead to the Giants. But I think the Giants are the real deal, man. And I know most of the people who watch this podcast, you Dallas fans, are looking at the NFC East and you're discounting the Giants, but I wouldn't do that just yet, man. They look really good. And, we'll see as the season goes on. We'll see what happens. But, you got the Giants and the Jets, which it's such a rarity that you have both the New York City football teams with winning records. I don't remember the last time that happened. But I don't know, maybe Uncle Cheech knows, because he's got all the stats. He knows all the facts and figures. So we'll maybe he'll know about that. But, the Jets with a big win in Green Bay, over Green Bay yesterday. And the young quarterback, Zach Wilson, he looks good. I know he's up and down, but he is looking pretty good. He looks better than Horseface down in Jacksonville, I can tell you that. So we had... Speaking of the NFC, my division, the South, we had a couple happenings yesterday. We had Pittsburgh. Pickett started the game. Trubisky came in late due to injury and mounted a big comeback against the Buccaneers and put a smile on my face, because I don't like the Buccaneers, and I'm still, as you can see, pissed off after last week. So, but that was another good game. Trubisky with a big comeback. Definitely wanted to prove himself after getting benched for Pickett, and it's unusual to see, the Buccaneers, who are, they're very disciplined for the most part, the exception of that Saints game, to blow a lead like that and lose. And again, I'm very happy they did work for us. We're tied with the Bucs, and I'm happy about that. And speaking of the NFC South, we have Carolina. I don't know if you guys saw Robbie Anderson mouthing off at one of their coaches yesterday. Well, didn't end well for him, or maybe it did. I don't know, because guess what? They sent him packing. They said, get out of Carolina, get off our team. We're trading you. So it is nice to see that there are times in the league and in sports in general where a lot of the players think that they're above everything. And, there was finally some, coach who said, screw you. I'm not going to, deal with your crap. And he was traded the next day. But it looks like, with Carolina being 1-5, I think they're cleaning house, firing the coach last week, trading big mouths this week. So, excuse me. So, again, I'm happy about that. I don't mind some dissension. We talked about it earlier in the season. The NFC South is wide open. Tampa Bay is banged up. Carolina's soul searching. We're playing well. Our defense is playing better than we thought. And, the Saints, they're on and off. And with Dalton, you never know. But anyway, so we're 3-3 there. And again, chat room's open if you guys want to make some comments. Anyway, we are going to have Uncle Cheech on shortly to give us our picks for the week and go over last week's picks as well. So anyway, right now my Yankees are on. We're going to switch to baseball for just a minute. We blew the lead at home Friday. It was disgusting. Blew the lead in Cleveland Saturday. Disgusting. Bottom of the ninth. So last night I was sitting there praying when Wandy Peralta came in the ninth inning. And I was praying, please, God, please, let us just close this one out without any theatrics or needing any heart medication. And he came in, took him out 1-2-3. So if anybody's got score of the Yankees game, please throw it up on the chat because I'm missing it right now until the end of the show. And I need to know what's going on with my team because that's why I'm wearing my Yankees Rangers shirt because we have my Yankees playing tonight. We have the New York Rangers playing tonight. We have the Falcons with a big win yesterday and my New York Knicks with Brunson on the team. They start tomorrow. I love this time of the year, and I'm really hoping the Yankees win tonight, not only so we move on to the championship series and avenge our prior losses to the Astros, who I can't stand, but then I will have all four of my teams playing at the same time here in October, and that's why I love this time of the year. So what I am going to do, I'm going to bring out a little Cheech a little earlier. I was going to have him on at 7:20, but he's here right now. But I did want to just touch base about Uncle Cheech for a second here. I don't know if you guys, have a 401k or go in the stock market. The stock market's been kind of crummy for the last 6 months or so. So about 6-7 weeks ago, when Uncle Cheech came on and started giving these picks, I reallocated some of my money that I was putting in the 401k, and I started putting them into some of Uncle Cheech's picks. And thanks to Uncle Cheech, I can tell you this. I'm enjoying some of the best bottles of champagne. I am enjoying the finest bottles of wine. I got plenty of money all over the place, baby. I got money coming out of my pockets. I got money coming out of both pockets. I got money coming out of everywhere, people. And you know what? I owe it all to Uncle Cheech. And right now, I got life pretty much the way I want it. All because of him. I owe him a lot. So without further ado, Uncle Cheech.
How you doing?
How are you?
First of all, before I get started, I want to thank Leon, who watches the show faithfully. Got me a nice box of new stogies.
Very nice.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love it. You see, that's the level I want to be at. I got all this money you're making me, all the champagne and wine. I need the fine cigars.
But anyhow, right now I'm 1-2. Having a little off week. I should have listened to you. Atlanta better than I thought. And San Francisco wasn't as good as I thought.
Well,
so I got a game going tonight. I got the Broncos. This is my lock tonight. Got the Broncos getting killed by the Chargers. I'm pretty confident in that game. Yeah, anyway,
I am too.
Let's get on with it here. My first pick is going to be UCLA at Oregon. Oregon -6. Oregon's at home. I think they'll take care of business fairly easily. My second pick is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Miami Dolphins. Tua's coming back. Dolphins are at home. I think they'll win that game. It's Miami -7. Miami -7. So bear that in mind.
Okay. You see, I know the college part. I don't know. I know that Mike Tagg knows a lot about the college, but with the NFL, I'm liking that pick.
It's basically more my forte than the NFL. So.
Oh.
But anyhow, my upset is going to be Texas at Oklahoma State. I'm taking Oklahoma State -4.5 at Boone Pickens Stadium. I think they're going to win that game. And I want to tell you a little story about T. Boone Pickens.
All right.
He was getting interviewed by one of them idiot sports reporters. You know, and there's a lot of them out there when I'm telling you, idiots. One of them asked him, said, don't you think it's a little, what do you call it, narcissical or for having the stadium named after you? You know, T. Boone Pickens, he was a very rich man.
Yes.
He gave him a good answer. You give them $25 million and they can name the stadium after you.
And he's right.
Stupid idiot. Anyway, I just want to say, Jimmy Johnson's coach here, Boone Pickens has donated over $160 million to Oklahoma State's program. Now, they used to be just an opponent. Now they're always in the top 20, top 10. They're a respected program these days, thanks to the guy who wanted his name on the stadium. So just keep that in mind, them idiots.
These reporters, all these talking heads, think they know what they're talking about. That's why we got a real expert here with Uncle Cheech giving us the real information.
Now I'm going to give you my lock. I know Mike Tagg is in here because he thinks I might put the heebie-jeebies on him. But anyway, Detroit at Dallas. Dallas -7. I think Dallas easily wins this game. I think they're pretty pissed off after last night. And I think they just flabunja the lowly Detroit Lions.
Woeful Detroit Lions.
The quarterback, Dak, he'll be back. So I'm pretty confident they'll easily win this game at home. Pretty confident.
That's definitely he's back next week?
Well, I don't know if it's fact.
Yeah. I think they.
Last night, I think they'll bring him back. I mean, there's a lot of time left in the season, but you want to get off on the right foot.
Exactly. And Detroit's the team to do it against.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. We're about me jinxing them. They're going to murder them to death. They're going to kill them to death. Side 3 quarters. It's going to be horrible.
Exactly.
And anyway, I want to thank Leon for these cigars. He played my upset of the week last week, which I told you, Tennessee
yes.
Against Alabama. That was probably the game of the week, bar none. That was one hell of a game. And now the school's getting fined $100,000 for ripping the goalpost down and throwing them in the river.
Well, people might have had a little too much to drink.
Kids having some fun.
Exactly. I tell you what, that's why, like I said, that's why I'm thanking you. I don't know much about college football, like I said, but I just listen to what you have to say, and that's where all this money's coming from.
Well, you do what I told you. You stay away from them parlays. I got to tell you a little story about when my dad was in the business. They used to make these. You might even see the football card where they put like 20 teams.
Yeah.
On a card, you pick 3, you get 5 to 1. You pick 4, you get 8 to 1. You pick 10.
Yeah.
You get 25 to 1. That's the biggest sucker game. My old man is making a fortune. You go to every local bar, every local bar, where the same guys come in, everybody knows each other. Every local
Yeah.
bar, give the barkeep either a little cut or the owner a little cut. Some of these people play 5, 10, 15 tickets, $10, $20, $100 back then.
Yeah.
Back then. You ain't gonna pick 3 teams. They try to pick 10, and then they try to pick 8. For every 1,000 losers, you might get 2 winners. So I know they don't do it anymore. Well, they still might, but with gambling leading online and stuff, back then they didn't have that. So that was probably the biggest suckers game going. Football, cards.
Well, we might still have some of that going on in some of the local social clubs in the back room. Maybe. I don't know.
It's almost impossible. You can try to pick 10. Give me a break. You can't even pick 1. Never mind 10.
So, Uncle Cheech, I need to know, what did you do this weekend? What does Uncle Cheech do this weekend? Were you in the hot tub with the girl? What happened this week?
Yeah, but I was in the hot tub a little bit. It's supposed to get cool. So I just went down there for a little while, slapped around a couple of girls a little bit, patted them a little bit, give them a little love a little bit. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like that golden touch. But anyhow, I'm looking forward to the game tonight. Somebody I know was a big Bronco fan. I'm afraid he'll be shedding a few tears by the time this game goes.
Yeah,
And I don't know if you heard the rumor that who's the former Saints coach?
Peyton. Sean Payton.
He's waiting to go to that Charger job if it opens up. That's the job he wants. You heard it here from Uncle Cheech.
You see, you know what? They take bets like that. We can bet on anything nowadays. So I'm going to find that one and get it right now while the odds are good.
But anyhow, that's about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm getting ready to go watch a game. I'm going to give myself a nice little glass of Chianti. Put the slippers on. Take the shirt off. Stretch out on the couch. Maybe get a couple of peanuts. Wine, women, and whiskey. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. And again, Uncle Cheech is the best. Appreciate you coming on. Thanks for the picks. You guys, I'm telling you, you heard it here, man. I'm making more money with Uncle Cheech than I am in the stock market.
That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Now I want to tell you another thing. I watch the college football every Saturday. They had who's that guy in there, the handicapper? Bear. That's his name.
Yeah.
Put up his record for last week. 0-3. What was Uncle Cheech's record last week? 3-1.
Yes.
Pick one more game. He's 0-3 and he's on ESPN. And you're paying him to pick losers when I'm giving you winners. I almost had players calling me up to see if they were going to win.
Well, you know what I got? We got somebody here calling you out. I don't know this Clarence. Oh, Clarence Speaks. He's been on here before. He's got a big mouth. I lost $50 this week. Uncle Cheech better redeem himself.
That's why you gamble. That's why they got the big hotels in Las Vegas and stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Uncle Cheech, you enjoy the evening. You enjoy the game. Hopefully you're going to be peeking at the Yankee game.
Okay, Jimmy. I'll see you next week.
I'll see you next Monday. Thanks.
Hopefully we can get some winners for you this week.
I appreciate it. Ciao, Uncle Cheech. Grazie mille. So you heard it. You got to go with Uncle Cheech's picks because he's made me a very, very well-to-do over the last month and a half. So, Clarence Beeks, you keep your mouth shut. So, anyway, we went over a lot of the NFL stuff, and it's interesting about Sean Payton, what Uncle Cheech brought up. And I know a lot of the Cowboy fans were thinking that he might be, in a spot where he ends up on Dallas next year if things don't go the way Dallas wants. But, I don't know, man. You can totally see him going out to San Diego. There's less BS he's got to deal with. In Dallas, you got to deal with Jerry Jones. No different than when my man Billy Martin was here under Steinbrenner. We won, but he always had George, who I love to death. But George is always looking over his shoulder. And, you know, he always had to worry about getting canned, to the point where sometimes George was, pulling the bad boy clauses out of Billy Martin's contract. So if Uncle Cheech is right 99.9% of the time. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But I have to agree with him. Everybody's heard me and my predictions about Russell Wilson and how things would play out for him this year in Denver, and I'm right. I'm right so far. And again, I don't wish bad on people. Russell Wilson last week put out a real spiritual post on Twitter, which I really appreciate. Actually, I appreciate that. I really like that he's putting it all out there. And, so it isn't like I'm rooting against him or hoping for it. I just didn't see Denver having the kind of, weapons for him to throw to that really elevate the game there. And surprisingly enough, you turn around, look at Geno Smith in Seattle, and he's rising above expectations. And, he's playing. He's had a few lights out games, and most of his games have been pretty strong. He had an average game yesterday, but not bad. So I give him props for that. Let's see. Clarence speaks. I'm praying to God too that he. I told you guys earlier in the season you could have gotten Mariota at a bargain basement price, and he's made a couple stupid decisions here and there, but for the most part, he's been he's been a pretty good manager. He's running the ball. He's not afraid to run. He's people forget he's got speed. He's the fastest guy we've had behind center since Mike Vick, and that's 16 years ago. It's been a long time, and he's still got a pretty good arm on him. And when you get think about it, we won last week without Pitts and Patterson. And we got Pitts back yesterday, which is good. But we're going to without Patterson, which obviously is our best asset on offense right now. And speaking of the Falcons winning, I know that I'm supposed to be adding something to the wall. But like I said, without Mike Tagg being here, I can't really do the honors without him being here, because I need him here for that. So on the Thursday night show, when we do the drawing for the 1,000th subscriber this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to hang the new Falcons number 3 win back there. Everybody laughed at me earlier in the season when I said that we can easily be 9-8. We're 3-3, so we're 1/3 of the way there with a wide open division. So I don't know. We'll see. We can take that division. The Saints got one up on us now. We got them one more again. They're 2-4. Carolina, they're 1-5. And the Bucs, again, they're 3-3 like us, but even though they beat us last week under auspicious circumstances, we still we got them one more time too. And I see them actually. I don't see them going much further this year. I think they're going to end up below 500. Tom Brady just does not look interested. He's not there. Their offensive line is horrendous, and I just don't see them going anywhere. Again, any Dallas fans out there, any Cowboy fans want to talk about the game last night? I went over it earlier. Like I said, the thing that killed you guys last night, Cooper Rush with 3 interceptions and 10 penalties. Philadelphia, believe it or not, Philadelphia, that dump, that disgusting city with a horrible coach who uses profane language on national TV. They only had 2 penalties. How is it that the Philadelphia Eagles are more disciplined than the Cowboys? I couldn't believe it. So, again, you guys, Cowboy fans, I wouldn't worry too much. With Prescott coming back, Uncle Cheech thinks he's going to be back next week. I think that'll be the case. And he knows he's got the inside track on these things. And Prescott coming back against Detroit is probably the best bet. He'll ease him back in, and that throwing thumb is just fine right now. So anyway, there ain't no more comments. We might be ending a little bit early tonight. I got to go watch the Yankee game. Let's talk to Uncle Cheech off the air. He gave me a little bit of advice on that game tonight too, and how to play that one. Because again, I need to make some more money, so I'm making it rain a little more. But again, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Don't forget, this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do the drawing. Again, we apologize for last week. There were server issues with the service that streams for us. So I do apologize for that. So again, we'll see you Thursday at 8. Don't forget to tune into our flagship show every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here. And as you know, Mike Tag will jump in during the week with some interviews and hype videos and a lot of the Dallas Cowboy preview and post game stuff. So again, we appreciate you tuning in. Thank you. Have a great week. We'll see you. Actually, we'll see you Thursday at 8 p.m. for the drawing.
Yo, this is Neville Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love